Yeah, welcome back to the Situation Room. My name is Vivian Kai Lokko. In the studio today, I have Bernard Avle. Bernard, you've been missing for a while.
I've been missing in action.
We don't like that. How are you? How have you been?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. And then I also have Godfred Akotobuafo here in the studio as well. Godfred.
The way you're doing the shadow,
Inspiration from you.
I've been watching you all week, you know, from home. The way you've been matching the ties, you look good. It's good to be here.
I'm hanging out with my brothers. I have to, you know, behave like them to understand them. And then I have Omar Sanda Amadou as well. Sanda, welcome.
Thank you. Akoto has said what I wanted to say, so I won't say anything again.
Don't say anything. And then later I'll be joined by Richard Delasky. Gentlemen, welcome again, and thank you for coming. So we'll start with the outcome of the elections proper, the general outlook in terms of how Ghana has switched from blue to green. Bernard, I'm starting with you. Are you ready to take us through?
No, yeah,
if not, let me take opening remarks.
Take my preliminary comments.
Let me take opening remarks, then let me let you settle because you are. So I'll start with Godfrey.
This is
you want to start? Okay.
I've covered elections since 2004. I voted first in the year 2000. This is probably the, what's the word to use? It's the biggest swing in an election I've observed in Ghana.
Not even 2016?
No. This is serious. This is, I don't even have the right word to use. I don't want to use an American slang, but it is decisive. It's I don't even know. It's serious, and the kind of mandate John Mahama has been given, I'm sure for even him, his advice, they are like, wow. You know, you can win and say, wow.
Yeah.
So there's a way in which you campaign, you work, and know you win. NDC had the momentum. They knew they were winning. But even the most optimistic NDC person didn't know that there's swing. And the parliament is what even makes, you know, you can tell an election swing not just by the gap. And this is a 1.6 million gap, but the parliamentary swing. Literally the whole nation wanted to change this government.
I remember when the results started trickling in, you were the first person to tell us that Greater Accra region had you know, swung to the green based on the system that we had put in place and the figures, you know. The level of swing across the nation, were you expecting that, or did Greater Accra prompt you that, hey, this is going to be more than I think?
Remember that night when you asked me, I said, on the basis of what I've seen in Greater Accra, NDC has won the election, they won the election very big. Because when you pick a polling station from a typical constituency, and you notice that all the polling stations you sample across the country, MPP's votes are dropping and NDC's votes are rising.
Yeah.
It's one thing for MPP to maintain NDC to rise, because NDC was coming from a deficit of 500K. But everywhere you picked on that screen, polling station, MPP was losing sometimes by half. And NDC, the minimum they did was to maintain what they got. Then they added. So it was for me a telltale sign. And I also said to you that Greater Accra was going to be more influential this year than it was in the past. Everybody said Greater Accra margins are small. Vivian, Greater Accra's margin for NDC is only bettered by Ashanti's margin for MPP by 120 or so thousand. So basically, Greater Accra takes care of Ashanti.
Yeah.
In the maps we did, we used to say there were swing regions. We said they were green, deep green. NDC has, of the 16, 13 are NDC. And of the 13, about 9 are deep green.
Yeah.
So you can actually say Greater Accra, Savannah, Upper East, Upper West, Volta, OT, Western North, Bono, all have become deep green.
Yeah.
That is unprecedented. Because when Akufo-Addo won in 2016, he got, I think, 2 regions deep green and our 5 regions all light blue, deep blue and light blue. So on the swing region level, it's been massive. On the stronghold level, it's been massive because everywhere NDC did well in their 2012, which was their best, they consolidated that 60% or more. Places that they didn't even win well in 2012, they won it better. I mean, it's
It's great. It's crazy.
Yeah,
we'll go into details, the constituencies, the regions, and all that. But before I go to Godfred and Sanda, I want to pick your thoughts just briefly on the constituencies, the parliamentary.
Yeah, what we have so far is a clear 2/3 for the NDC. The swing. Okay, this is the way I see. Generally, up until this election, MPP tends to do better in presidential elections than parliamentary elections. Because MPP's real numbers come from 2 regions, and NDC comes from across the country. So if you think about the fact that there are constituencies in Ghana with 40,000 voters, 25,000 voters, they will typically be in non-MPP areas. So NDC is generally expected to win parliamentary elections, and MPP generally, because of the density of the population in their strongholds, generally. This is one election that did not follow the trend. So what I would say is that this election, all of us, everybody has to rewrite the election trends, because this is like a big event that has changed the way the trend flows. Because, for example, typically NDC wins presidential elections, apart from 96, from 2000, by very small margins. MPP tends to win by bigger margins. 2004, 2016, 2020. All of that, when you add this result to it, is so basically they've rewritten the modern political history with this victory. All right. And then, of course, regionally, regions that used to be considered, I mean, Eastern region, Vivian, the difference between the 2 parties is 40K, which is even smaller than Greater Accra gave John Mahama in 20. So basically, John Mahama trailed Bawumia in Eastern region by only 40,000 votes. Can you imagine? Ashanti region, with all its big size, 600,000. If you just put voter NOT, what Mahama got there, it almost wipes out Ashanti. So all the things we've been doing up until the election day was to give people a good sense of where we are. What we are going to do today is to tell people that there is a new political map. So Mahama has withdrawn the political map. So everybody has to readjust. So going forward, elections will never be the same in Ghana.
All right, go for it. Let me bring you in on your initial comments on the big presidential switch, and then a quick one on the parliamentary as well. I remember when the parliamentary results were coming from where you live.
Yes.
I mean, there was a bomb from that place.
Yes, in Avle West as well.
Yeah.
I think that if you look at the map as we have it now, you can clearly tell that Mahama has a national mandate. Ahafo, Bono East, Central, Greater Accra, Northern, Oti, Savannah, Upper East, Upper West, Volta, Western North. You don't get as national representation of a mandate than this. And it just shows, if you look at the swing from the previous election, it just shows, I think, how far John Dramani Mahama has come, and the NDC, how far they have come as a party as well. Because we go back 2016, perhaps the most unpopular president in the history of the Fourth Republic would have been John Dramani Mahama, left on the back of a hailstorm of corruption and very, very low approval ratings. Very few would have thought that his political career would get this kind of revival. It didn't just get a revival, it got a major boost nationally, who have said that, well, we think that at this point in time, we prefer you as an option to what is available. So a resounding mandate for the NDC and John Dramani Mahama. What they do with it is up to them, but I just look at it and I say, look, they did a national campaign, they won a national vote. If you look at the NPP, I don't think that they run a national enough campaign. And when you listened to their campaign message during the course of the whole campaign period, it was pretty clear that it was a campaign that was highlighted by strategy. What was the strategy? Pick on where the numbers are. Get our most numbers, because it had always looked like those numbers were good enough. Little did they know that the national feeling had turned to such numbers that alone was not going to be a viable strategy. And with the exception of the Ashanti region, where even there their numbers have dropped. And it's surprising for me, post-election, the rhetoric that has come from the blue quarters, where they say our people did not come out to vote.
But can we ignore that?
In
terms of the apathy, can we put that aside and not use it as one of the main reasons why the Greens went real green in terms of apathy?
Apathy would have affected everybody. We haven't yet drawn down data that says apathy affected just the NPP. Because if you have a candidate who, on the other hand, has won such massive numbers across the rest of the country, apathy does not become an issue. We can deal with voter turnout and the other factors that affected it. But the man won 13 out of 16 regions. That is not apathy in my estimation. That is a lot of people around the country in different parts of the country, diverse parts of the country, waking up one morning and saying, look, I have a decision to make. This is the decision that I am making, irrespective of whatever I feel or think about this. And I just think that the NPP needs to sit back again and look at this campaign that they run. I kept saying during the build-up to the election that it was a campaign that was being made up as it went along. And it did not have a soul. It was representative of what we have seen, the worst sides of the NPP the past 6 or 7 years. A lot of sloganeering, a lot of singing, but very little substance.
But wasn't it because there was no substance?
That's exactly
how things had turned out in terms of the economy.
They run basically, they run a campaign that was very, that was opposite to what every single data set was saying. Approval ratings were in the opposite direction. Afrobarometer was telling you something else. Most of the major polls around the world that were happening here were telling you the same thing.
Yeah.
But if you looked at the campaign that was being run, you would think, and Bernard has said this, it looks like everybody in the NPP at a point in time lived in a bubble, except the rest of the country.
Yeah.
Now, you go to the poll, and the rest of the country shows you where they live, and they've left the blue side shell-shocked, Vivian.
Yeah, all right. Umar Sanda Amadou. I was listening to Dr. Bawumia. I think the second day, some of the MPs from the Greater Accra, those who lost, those who won, visited him, and he was saying that it was because most of the people didn't turn up for the party one, and then from what they've seen, initial data mining and all that, it was just by about 100K really that the NDC overtook them with. Godfred is saying apathy was across the country, but really the people showed up for
So Vivian, I've heard the apathy argument. In fact, when I was covering on election day, all the constituencies I went to, I was in Shao Sodoku, Ningo Pram, Bunkatamanso and Ashaiman. As of 3 p.m., the numbers I saw show up to vote were not impressive, less than half at all the polling stations I went. So there was apathy. The question is, the people who were apathetic, who says they were NPP people? What shows that if those 2 or 6 extra million people had come, they were going to vote for NPP? I think perhaps NPP should be happy that there was even apathy, because if there wasn't, perhaps the defeat would have been bigger than it is. We cannot say for sure, and there's no scientific way of proving now, that all the people who showed up to vote were NDC people only. Unless there will be a poll where all NPP people will show that we did not show up to vote. And then they are registered card-bearing members and they will prove so. For me, what matters is that the one party has won and another has lost. Whether it was because of apathy that they lost or not, it should tell them that there's something that they did which was wrong. And apathy itself is also a vote. For your members not to show up to vote, granted that they were, it means that they actually are saying that they don't care about you. I think this is, look, and I'm not sure the NPP has recovered from this. And I said something jokingly. Even if the whole audit service tries to help NPP make sense of what happened, I'm not sure they will finish in a year or two. Because the magnitude of the defeat is unimaginable. Going into this election, because of a number of things, one would have expected, well, the governing party may fall, but not to the extent that they did. The gap is so bad that NPP MPs are as significant in Parliament as a public gallery. They can actually not show up and nothing happens. So it's like when the members of the public gallery are not there, Parliament can still proceed. So whether or not they are there, they'll proceed. The 1992 Constitution, the framers, Article 3, the early part of the Constitution, they said Parliament shall have no power to enact a law that makes Ghana a one-party state. What the framers did not know that Ghanaians themselves can decide they want to do a one-party state. And that's actually what we have now. We actually have a one-party state. And I'm saying a democratic one-party state. That is what we have got into. In 2016, when Mahama was defeated, I said that, and I wrote a Facebook post where I said that if a sitting president is defeated by 1 million votes, and this sitting president is younger and seeking re-election, and is defeated by 1 million votes to an older opposition leader, what Ghanaians have said to that president or the new president is that we have taken care of the opposition forever. Do not worry. Go ahead and execute whatever your mandate is. That's what Ghanaians said to Akufo-Addo in 2016 when they gave him that mandate. But what John Mahama has gotten now, I don't even know how to translate it. It's like we have annihilated, we have taken the opposition off the map for you. Feel free and drive at any speed you want. And that is why I gave the advice I gave the last time I gave. That, look, this is the best thing that can happen to anybody in an election. And in the next 4 years, he can decide to just sleep it off. Nothing we can do. He can also decide to leave a very good mark. And I'm really hoping and praying that he will leave a good mark on this nation, because what he has been given, and Godfred has said it, no one thought that in 2016, the defeat that Mahama suffered, he would ever even dream of coming to run for election. But Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his government has given John Mahama the audacity to come and prove that he's actually worth it, and to make Ghanaians say that we made a mistake in 2016, which is what we have seen now, Vivian.
Okay. Now let's look at what the general outlook is like. Bernard is ready on the dashboard. Bernard, I'm looking at the map of Ghana, the Republic of Ghana, 2024. Green all over. In the middle belt below a bit, you see some blues, and then some spots of blue top on the right side. What is happening there?
So what we've done is, as you know, we've created this general map which tells you if NPP wins is blue, if NDC wins is green. This is without the 9 the EC did not add. So there are 9 constituencies EC did not add. All right, so this is 260, 67, 78. Now this is just a basic view of the map of Ghana. Let me just show you how this has changed over the electoral cycles. All right, so 2020, it may not look too different, because in 2020 the NPP won by 500,000 votes. All right, and then in 2016 NPP won by an odd million votes. So that map was pretty deep. So this is the 2020 picture. You notice a lot of blue. Both up there, even in the middle parts, and then in the western part. Right. So coast. The blues, the whole coast is very blue. All right. Now, when I show you 2024, you can quickly see the difference. That all of this western side is green. It's gone. All right. Now, the second thing I'll show you, when I create a heat map, all right. Sorry for this, but I create a heat map. So now we're basically showing the degree of the victory. All right. Again, 2024, the deep parts, apart from the 2 in northeast, everything they got here is blue. A marginal victory. And then, apart from the core Ashanti, a lot of the eastern is not really that deep. Whereas for NDC, the deep is all the way through, So basically, you can draw a 7 in the opposite way, from upper east, upper west, Savannah, down to Bono East, through to parts of Krobo Eastern, all the way to Volta. And then you have the same showing up here. All right. So their light greens then cover the rest of the map. So basically, that's why I agree with the two gentlemen that it's not just a turnout issue. All of this part has changed. All right. Of course, there was apathy in the country, so queues in Accra were short. So generally, and I was doing the polling station, I told you that even for some places, NDC too dropped. So it's very clear. If you do some analysis, NDC's votes dropped in some areas. The apathy is very strong. It didn't translate into voting for smaller parties. It just meant that a lot of people flipped. So when you look at some of Musa's figures, some MP people flipped to NDC and then some didn't vote. But most of NDC people would have voted anyway. Now, you compare this heat map to 2020 again, and you notice that it's a very huge, I mean, look at this. 2020, there were a couple of dips here. This was not that light. the deep greens were not that many. 2016 is the map Sanda was referring to. 2016 was when NPP was really on top of its game. All right. And in that particular instance, you notice that the deep blue was much, much more.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at that. All the way to the Bono areas. Now, take a careful look at these Bono areas. You notice that it's been greened.
Yeah.
And then the Western Enclave. So, for swing regions, you look at Southern Coast, the Bono Enclave and Western for 2016, right? Bono Enclave, Western, and then Coastal.
Yeah.
Look at what's happening in 2024 with this Mahama victory. All of that is gone. All of that is gone. All of course. So
can you tell us what we see?
Forgive me. So all of this green, blue that you were seeing. So this is swing region areas. It's just two blues you see here. So basically for prediction, MPP in the Bono region won only one constituency. So Bawumia won one constituency in the Bono region. He won one constituency in the Ahafo region. And with Bono East, he hasn't won any if Techiman South comes. So if you take Bono Ahafo and Bono East, let me make it easier so you get what I'm trying to say on this. So take Ahafo, Bono, and Bono East. Okay, this is 2024. Basically, we're saying, apart from Techiman South, which is coming in, there are only two constituencies that Dr. Bawumia won. Now, compare this to any previous election. I mean, it's almost unfathomable. Look at 2020 for this same three. I mean, guys, look at this.
Look at that.
I mean, the whole of Bono is blue. Bono East, they even made incursions into Bono East. Ahafo. This is 2020 figures. I'm not even talking 2016. This is an election with a 500,000 deficit for NDC. And you come to 2024, and Vivian, look at this. Only two.
It's wiped out.
So this is not a stronghold situation. This is just two. And these two are light blue. So they didn't even win any Bono. Bawumia didn't win any Bono constituency by more than 60%.
The whole of Bronga Ahafo.
So I'm taking in fact, I even have a 10, but I just want to stay there. So the point is that swing regions swung so rapidly. So look at the numbers as well. There's a 150,000 margin plus for Mahama. When you compare him to 2020, for 2020, you had, where am I? Okay, I'll show you the 2021.
2020 is below. It's actually below. So it's below the
Bawumia
figures for 2024.
Good. Thank you. So
637,000.
Mahama gets 56% of the three Bono regions. Bawumia gets 41. In 2020, Akufo-Addo had 51%. So Mahama has climbed from 47 to 56, like 10%, and Bawumia has dropped by 10% in Bono. Why is Bono a swing region? This mirrors the national. So this 56.5, 41.6 is very close to the national, which is why we say that in the trend, it's a swing region. It behaves like the nation in total. Let me do Western as well. So this is two
of the blue
out of, and mind you, this is 2 out of
29.
So we have only Techiman South absent. So basically the whole region is gone. Okay, now if you want to go to the Western Enclave, still on the issue of swing regions, all right? Let me take Western, forgive me. Let me take Western region proper, all right? Before I come to Western North. This is Western region. You remember we did our Western region show? Vivian, what did you say? You had the Takoradi Enclave. This is presidential results. The 8 constituencies in Takoradi. Sekondi, Takoradi, Mpoho, Efia, Kwesi-Mintim, Ahanta West, Esikado Ketan, MPP. Shama was like schizophrenic, depending on how it felt. Vivian, this is presidential results. Apart from this Takoradi, NDC wins every constituency. I mean, this is. I mean, look at this. In 2020, Mahama gets 46% of Western region votes. Akufo-Addo gets 50%, which is again similar to the national average. Mahama is now 58.8. Bawumia is 38. I mean, this is crazy. Now, if you even so basically, apart from Takoradi, and even the Takoradi is not deep, it's light. Now, add Western North for emphasis. so that we want to, for those who deal with old regions.
But I'm just looking at the win margin, 150,000 almost.
Yeah, so if you add that win margin to the Bono win margin, Bono was 123,000, 150K, so it's almost 280,000 gap for just 2 swing regions. So if I add Greater Accra, the election is over. So this is the old Western region. Think about it, presidential elections from the 9 up there to this. Of the 26 constituencies in the old Western region, Bawumia won only in Takoradi. I mean, this we were predicting Greater Accra.
I think Western region was one of the shocker regions that, I mean, people, of course, at a point you see things are swinging, but the level of swinging.
If you are writing a headline for the Conversation or City Newsroom, we'll call it Western Wipeout.
Yes.
Total.
Because it's, I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Let me show you 2020, okay? To make this point clearly, go to 2020, the most I mean, look at this. 3 in Western North, Jomoro's, Akufo-Addo. This whole bunch.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 5 at the bottom are strongholds.
Yeah.
You would have thought that the trend is that you move from deep blue to light blue, light green. You basically just... I mean, I've never seen anything like this in my life. Right? So this is what? 2020. 49, 47. 47. All right? Akufo-Addo won that election by a 19,000 margin. It was pretty close. If I show you 2016, just for emphasis, all right, where he's coming from. So basically, this is where he's come from, the mandate he was given, and the mandate he's leaving. So what I'm trying to say is that the state of the nation when they voted for Akufo-Addo in 2016 was that in the Western and Western North regions, he had a 70,000 plus. Bawumia takes over 8 years later, and he has a 150,000 deficit.
Yeah.
So look at all these blues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come to 2020, just for emphasis again. More blues here.
Yeah.
All right. Then, sorry, this is 2020. You can count as many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 of the 26, so you can call it Chimpe. So 13 or 26 in the Old Western belongs to NPP. Come to 2024 and you swing from 13 to what? I mean, I don't know what you guys think about this.
This is 20.
When you spoke to him, what did he say? I mean, Vivian, from 13
to 25 nil. 25-1, sorry.
You know,
and the only MP who has won in the Western region, who people even thought was having problems.
Ochedako.
Yeah. I mean, what is this? I haven't come to Greater Accra yet.
I mean, Ochedako, you know, with the Western region issue, the statue thing.
Yeah.
That's Ochedako.
Yeah, but no, that was in second D.
But he gave the go ahead.
It's second D Takra.
Yeah, they did. And Mesa paid for that.
So this is funny. So in 2016, when NDC had a similar wipeout in Central Region, they won only 3 regions. One of them was the regional minister Ricky Hagan at the time.
Yes. Yeah. Cape South and
this time too, NPP loses the whole region except where the regional minister is.
Yeah.
So for some reason, regional ministers are able
to. You know the funny thing, Vivian? NDC's loss in 2016 was the worst loss of an incumbent till date.
Yes. Yeah.
It has nothing on 2024.
Yeah.
2024 is it's
a different, it's a rogue.
You need to combine the push and pull factors. You need to say it was a rejection of MPP and also an acceptance of Mahama, because you cannot swing from minus 1 million
yes,
in 8 years ago to plus 1.6 million in an 8-year cycle. With the same person.
With 9 constituencies outstanding.
Imagine the same person who lost as city president by 1 million is winning by 1.6 million. So look at where he's come from.
Yeah.
And by the way, to work from minus 1 million to minus 500K is a hell lot of work.
It's something else.
Right? So NDC's way of coming to power was from 1 million minus to 500K minus to now 1.6 plus. So now NPP is working from minus 1.6 million. So the question is, what are they going to do in 4 years to even have this?
Yeah. And this is with people not even showing up. So imagine.
It is I mean,
you know,
it doesn't make sense.
The Western region, I think that, again, if the government had paid a lot more attention early on, they would have realized that they had a lot more work to do. Again, it's the taking people for granted. If you look at the voting history of the Western region, the Western North, they would have assumed that, oh, these are people who are normally amenable to our politics, and so we don't need to do too much. Those who come from the region will tell you that it's a pale shadow of its glorious past. My good friend Achuta Maklu calls it one large construction site. He says everything that has been started in that region has been left uncompleted. Nothing has been finished. It's a dusty patch of earth. Now, in addition to that, you look at the Western region has really struggled with water because of Galamsey. They're one of the regions where water rationing started pretty early. Before we started struggling with it here, Western and Central were the ones who were struggling with it, and they had complained because of that prices had gone up. Now, if you look at even the general economy of the Western region, it hasn't been the best over the past decade. Things have really gone down and the thing is this. And that was the point I was coming to. If you visit the place, they will tell you that we've been digging oil in this place for some time now, but it is not reflective of the lifestyle. Third point that affected the governments there, and perhaps across the country, the heightened activity of voter education. There are a lot of small advocacy groups that went round that educated people. Don't take gifts and vote. Look at your situations and vote. Don't do this, don't do that. And in a place like the Western region, Ghana Integrity Initiative, for instance, was very active, where they went around in small groups, were educating people online. They were doing a lot of work in the you voters who had become more enlightened to their situation, in addition to a horrible economic and regional situation. Look, when the statue issue came up, and a lot of people think we might be overemphasizing the statue, but the statue kind of was
it became emblematic of the disgruntlement.
Yes. You know, because after I was done, our man in the region, Enim, went there and did a report. In addition to that, I watched others as well. And you know, when a Ghanaian says, "Train, I'll be home." A lot of the feedback from what Enim did, from what all the others who went to the region post that statue did was, "Train, I'll be home." There was a lot of that. They won't say it in as much words, but you could get it in the statements that they were making. They were dropping hints. There was a lady at the market who was like, "Oh, so you think you can just come and do you can complete this? No problem. Next week is coming. I will be here. You are not here."
And that video of the statue and the reactions was our most reacted to story for, I can say, for this year. Within 30 minutes to 1 hour, we had hit about 2K comments. On that statue.
You know, there are some stories that come to you, even as a news person who's seen a lot of news, you still get shocked. When Akwesi Ejenim put the story on the page that Akufo-Addo unveils a statue of himself.
I had to look twice.
I was like, okay, wait. So actually, I read the thing, waiting that he would edit it. If someone unveils a statue for you, it's all right. But you travel all the way, you take our presidential, I don't know whether that's how he went, but fly all the way there, go and unveil your statue in the middle of a roundabout, which is very dusty and an uncompleted road. And when I went to cover the NPP manifesto launch, I went to that roundabout, I saw it. And so for me, I'm like, okay, at least wait. If the road was completed in Mpue, but the road is not finished, the whole place is under construction, and you say to me that you, look.
That's why I'm surprised that the Western Regional Minister didn't take a fall for this. That he went through.
He's an experienced political player. And he barely held, because if I show you...
Show me his numbers.
So if you do the parliamentary, we'll probably come to parliamentary. This is presidential.
Okay, sure.
Parliamentary, Western gave NPP 2. What I wanted to show you was that the question now will be, which region won the election for Mahama? The answer is every region.
Yes.
And I'll show you why. Every region changed. Before I do that, let me just add the Bono and Western to just show you my swing region. I haven't come to Accra yet, because Accra is a different kettle of fish. What I just want to do is to play with this to show you how for Bono and Bono is combined. So basically, we've drawn a C in the country. I haven't had a central. I haven't even had a central yet. In drawing my C in the country, in 2020, Akufo-Addo won this.
5 regions.
In 2020, yes, Akufo-Addo won this C 50%, Mahama 47%. Again, this is why they are swing regions. So they are. 2020 figure reflects the national. Their 2016 reflects the national. In 2024, 58-39. So this is Bono East, Bono Ahafo, Western North, and Western As. Now, if I add Central, All right. Now, I just wanted to let you. So what I'm saying is that one of the biggest questions in this is, for example, if they are thinking about which region won this election for us, who gets the reward?
Yeah.
Every region has a strong case.
Everybody did a good job.
Because and West is probably in a comfortable lead with their with their 20s. But I want you to do Central quickly, and then do North for you. So let me just go. Now, Central region has been big in your discussions as well. All right. So what happened in 2024 for Central region? This is presidential results. Okay.
Similar to Brong and Avle.
58-39. So you see that Central region's ratio is the same ratio as when I put Western and Bono Ahafo together. So what we are basically saying is that these, and what was the swing? Akufo-Addo had 52% in 2020. Mahama had 45. Mahama has moved from 45 to 58 plus 13. Akufo-Addo 52. Bawumia has dropped to 39. Central region. Now, apart from Efutu, where Apenyo King is, and then this constituency called Heman Lower Dentra. And mind you, this is, let me show you the 2020 so you can see how serious this swing is. In 2020, Central region was pretty, you know, it was a region NDC won the parliamentary and Akufo-Addo won the presidential. And people saying it was free SHS kind of thing. Now, look at this.
This was just 4 years ago.
4 years ago, of the 23 constituencies, NDC won only 4. Chifo Atimokwa, KEA, which they always win, Ekunfi, where Mills is from, and Kazelatu Fosen. So basically, the NDC's presidential, Mahama won only Commander, which is where Mills' brother is MP, Elmina. He won Ekunfi, which is where Mills is from, and Ejukuma, which is where, of course, Kaziel is strengthened, and then Chifo Atimokwa. This is 2020.
So even where Rickett Hagan won, Cape Coast North,
presidential, NPP
Cape Coast went
everything. Everything. And but by the way, on parliamentary, NDC won more parliamentary seats. So that was the change coming. Vivian, so this is 2020 with 1, 2, 3, 4 deep blues. NDC won only 4 light blue in one electoral cycle. In one electoral cycle. Look at this. Only 2 blues are left. Apenyo marking, and then
Heman
Lower Dentra.
And there are even lights.
Guys, and look at the number of deep greens. From Commander
the whole base
to Cape Coast South, Cape Coast North.
About 12.
Infanteman. You have Ekumfi. You have Ejumakun. You have Gomua West, Gomua Central, Gomua East. The whole thing.
Better show me 2016.
Good.
For the Central region.
You want to compare this?
I wish
because it might help. I want to make an ethnicity-based argument.
2016. Look at that. NDC won only. Mahama won only 3. Mahama won only 3. Commander, he always wins. Ekufi, he always wins. And Cape Coast North. Look at the number of deep blues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of the 20 seats, 20 constituencies, Mahama Akufo-Addo won in 2016. 19 he won in 2020. Central has shifted to 20. I mean, look at this. And then 2024. Where are we? Look, only 2. So 21. It's unfathomable.
I would hazard a guess and say, look, there was a choice here to be made. Nana Jane was on the ballot. Nana Jane was not rewarded.
Enough for the first 4 years.
For the first 4 years. Now, this is a region that has proved super loyal to its people, bar Nana Jane in that previous election.
No, that region.
So you think Nana Jane?
No. Central is just what they do.
I'm just saying, with a choice between
2000 and 2004, they didn't mind Mills. They responded to Mills in 2008.
Yes.
Then 2012, they maintained Mahama.
Yes.
2016, they said NDC to hell with you.
Yes.
2020, they said we are not yet convinced. 2024, they are come back.
Even with Mr. Arthur in 2016.
So the theory is that Western and Central have 8-year moods.
Yes.
Greater Accra has a 4-year mood. So this you're seeing probably going to continue for another 4 years. But they like you very much.
But you don't think the depth of the color change that we have seen is impacted by Nana Jane being on the NDC ticket?
No. It's
and
possible.
Bawumia not having that option.
So this is what I'll say. For a an election of this size, and it's just a week ago, today is Friday, it's too early to come back. I will not rule out Jane, because this is what Jane Nana did. Jane Nana did what you call the retail campaign. So if you follow NDC's campaign, Mahama does campaign where people come together. Yes. So if it comes to say Hohwe, people will come from all the communities. If Jane goes Hohwe, she won't pass anybody. She'll do market, school. So her campaign was like at the bottom, and then Mahama's campaign was at the top. So I can take that, but what I'm saying is that it's even too early
to make that kind of argument.
To the extent that the swing in Western, I mean, if it was just Central and BA to have been enough to be in this election, what Western has done, even Central hasn't done. Because look at the margin, 186K in terms of raw numbers, right? What did Western give? And by the way, this region has more voters now than Western, all right?
But which outstanding? There's one constituency outstanding in there.
This one was it's there now. Agona West. I didn't.
That was Esukuma.
No, it was Agona West, but it's there now. I just need to refresh
it. Okay.
So Vivian, so let's continue our swing region thing quickly to see where we are. I'm adding the Bono Ahafo enclave, and I'm adding Western and Western North. So we are drawing C in the country. The swing region without Greater Accra. In 2020, Akufo-Addo 51%, Mahama 47%. Again, the reason these regions are bellwether is that their average mirrors the national average. 51 for Akufo-Addo is exactly, Akufo-Addo got 51% in 2020. Mahama had 47% in 2020. Now, they've given Bawumia 39, Mahama 58, which means that when we add those 9 constituencies, Mahama may even go up.
It may go to 2 million.
Which is why I'm even saying that this victory is more impressive than Rawlings 96.
Yeah.
So this is what you have. And by the way, Sanda, of the 78 we have here, guess how many NPP has? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In 6 regions.
So they've won. Let me count them. What's the name of this guy? No. Sunyani West. Tano. Sunyani West. Tano. No, forgive me. Sunyani West.
It's even North.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It has to be Tano North.
Okay.
Gideon Boako. So they want Gideon Boako's presidential as well. Sunyani West, Takrade, Lower Dentra, and Ifutu. So of the 77 or so, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presidential. So which means that the average the average non-stronghold voter. The average non-stronghold voter from Bono all the way through.
All went from Mahama.
If you like, let's take out Bono East and take out Western North because the NDC strongholds, just to make argument. Okay, so you say Bono East is an NDC stronghold, so take it out. Take out
Western North.
Western North NDC stronghold. Take it out. So let's take out. Let's now just have Central, Western, Bono, and Ahafo. Still, Mahama 57, Bawumia 40. How many seats? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. For it's unfathomable.
Well, we have to take a break. When we come back, you need to add the noting and all that. It's the Situation Room. I'm here with Bernard Avle, Omar Sanda Amadou, and Godfred Akotobwafo. When we come back, we'll be joined by Richard Delaska, and then we'll look at the other regions which led to the defeat of the NPP. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There it is. It's finally here. Old School Reunion Pub Chain on Saturday the 21st of December 2024 at the Gold Coast Restaurant, Cantonment, Accra. It's going to be an old school reunion extravaganza of live music featuring alumni bands from Achimota, Presec, Infantipim, Adisadel, St. John's, and the Christian Alumni Association Ghana's historic all-female band. The guest artist is a US-based Local Crisis, and DJ Pello is on the ones and twos on the night for the after party. Ticket prices are regular 200 Ghana cedis online or by short code *844*344# and 300 Ghana cedis at the gate, and also at the Bachuna Total or BachunaTotalOnline.com. Table packages are also available. Proceeds are to help purchase equipment for the Achimota School Science Labs. Partners City FM and Channel 1 TV. For inquiries, call 0302 799 834. Come, let's jam together. Don't miss this. Iba Fake B.
Facility Pro Management Services Limited, the most outstanding facility management company in Africa. We have over 12 years experience in professional facility management services, such as cleaning, fumigation, and pest control to landscaping, post-construction cleanings, and electronic security installations. With highly trained personnel, exceptional customer service, and operations in all 16 regions of Ghana, we offer you value for money always. Facility Pro, trusted by top brands like Scania West Africa, Orca Deco, Robert Bosch Ghana, National Communications Authority, First National Bank, Consolidated Bank Ghana, Zenith Bank, Brain Hill International School, Villac International School, just to mention a few. Let us maintain the value of your property. Facility Pro, maintaining the value of your property.
Get ready for the ultimate celebration of the year. The Situation All White Christmas Party 2024. This Christmas Eve, join us at the Situation All White Christmas Party for a night of unforgettable vibes. Date 24th December 2024. Time 8 p.m. Location The Underbridge, East Legon. Expect nothing but pure magic as we light up the night with incredible performances from Keche, the hitmakers who know how to get you moving. Misakede, Ghana's soul master with melodies that will take you to another world. A Chin Band, a live performance experience like no other. DJ Mingo, the party maestro, keeping the beats flowing all night. I've done it best, bringing the energy to keep the crowd jumping. And MOG, leading us in spirit-filled worshiping style. Dress code all white. Let's shine together in style. It's going to be a night to remember, full of music, dance, and festive spirit. Don't miss out on the hottest party of the season, the party that shuts down all parties. Call 0205-973-973 for table reservations and get ready to party. It's going to be lit at the Underbridge. The Situation All White Christmas Party 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM and proudly sponsored by Carlsberg Beer, Kiss Drinks, Series, Bell Ice, Verve Duvernay, Bushmills Irish Whiskey, and Blue Jeans Energy Drink.
This is the Situation Room. We are continuing with our coverage of the outcome of the 2024 elections. We're looking at the presidential outlook. We've looked at a couple of regions, Western region, Central region, and then some of the Bono boys and girls. We'll move to the Northing. And Bernard, which other one do you want to add?
So before we go there, I just want to remind you, based on what you've done, Mahama has come from a deficit of 1 million votes to a profit of 1.6. That means that in 8 years, NDC has gained 1.6 million voters. 2.6 million voters. 2.6. Because 1 million, I owe you 1 million, and now you owe me 1.6. So I've flipped, which is, you know, if you don't do statistics, you think this is like, it's serious.
While maintaining your base.
And this is a voter population of probably 17 to 18 million people. And your voter numbers are around 12 million. So it's very serious to move. So now, we have not been able to answer the question, which region account for this because every region has a story to tell.
Yeah.
Now, the region I analyzed closest was Greater Accra because that was where most of my polling station cluster thing came from. And by midnight, we knew where the election was headed because of what we saw. So I think it would be good to show you Greater Accra as a region, because we also said that this region had 13 of the top 20s, the largest region in the country. We've left out Dome Kwabenya Presidential, Ablekuma North, and Okankwe Central, because those three, they didn't finish. What I was told by Fred Doho's team was that they were counting Dome Kwabenya Presidential, but when Bawumia conceded, the people said, you know what, let's do the parliamentary because Dome Kwabenya is big. So they couldn't finish the presidential for Dome Kwabenya. So I have 31 out of 34. Okay, presidential. Now, this is what I was saying. 570. I told you, Vivian, that if somebody's voters don't show up in Greater Accra, that 70,000 thing they were saying is not going to be this. 573,000 voters deficit for Bawumia. So basically, Mahama won. This is more than he got in Volta and OT last election.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. This is more than Upper East and Upper West together. More than it. So basically, Greater Accra's boom, if you even put Ashanti's 600K, look, let me even do that for Shege reasons. All right? For Shege reasons, why I even make the point. So this is Ashanti. Okay? Now let me take Greater Accra off. This is Ashanti. Bawumia, 65%, Mahama, 33%. 667,000 plus. This is the Ashanti that Akufo-Addo won by 1.1 million in 2016. No, 100K, and then 1.1 million in 2020. Oh, we can't even check. Let me know.
2020 is down there. It's down there. It's 1.7, almost 1.8.
No.
Down below.
No, hold on. We are looking at deficit.
Okay. I thought you were talking
just take it. What I'm trying to say is that in 2020, Akufo-Addo beat Mahama by 1.1 million in Ashanti. This is 20 what? 20. Let me just show you 2016. I'm trying to make a point here. 2016, in my view, same thing, 1.1 million. So Ashanti was the big bad wolf. So Ashanti voters can say they won this election for NDC. Why? Because in 2024, what did they do? Only 600K. So that's 500,000 less. So if you bring Greater Accra into the equation, Ashimo, he was here the week before. So it's just 93,000. Any small region can. So imagine Western region didn't vote. Any small region can help NDC. So Greater Accra, and we kept saying that because of the size of the Greater Accra constituency, mind you, 2020, Dome Kwabenya 28K plus for NPP, Anyaso Tum like 29,000. Trobu 30,000. These are NPP nets. When we go into the details, these are 5,000, 4,000. In fact, in some places, Mahama even won. All right, so let me take away Ashanti and come back to Greater Accra. Where am I? So Ashanti is off. All right. So Vivian, you noticed in previous elections, your blue is all over. All right. So again, let's remind viewers. The history of Greater Accra. Let me start from 2012. The history of Greater Accra is that the more western you go, the better it is
the
for...
bluer you are.
Yes, so blue here, 2012, NDC won. 2016, where are we? So this is 2016. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strongholds, plus a lot of blues. Yeah. 2020, where NDC even won the region by 70,000 votes. Still, your blue gash is there. Dome Kwabenya, Trobu, Anyaso Tum, Wejak Bawe, Ablekuma North. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strongholds. A lot of light blues. Amasaman, Botiano. A lot of the Ayaso West Wagon, Ablekuma, Isikwe, Henry Quarty. All of this. Right? This is 2020 Greater Accra, where Mahama wins with 73,000. How do you move from 73,000 to... Look at this. These numbers are scary. 573,000. So basically, think about it. 73,000 plus. So 500,000 new people.
Yeah.
In
So
Greater
so you see the point about you guys saying that it's not just a question of
turnouts.
Yeah.
he won by 73,000. Now he has 573.
Where are they from?
573,000 people.
Yeah.
This is the biggest margin
500,000.
Mahama got. So Greater Accra can say, we gave you the election because we gave you 500,000 more voters.
That's a lot.
Greater Accra behave like a capital should behave.
Yeah.
I mean, and if I add the swing regions to it, it's terrible. Because by the way, 63. So of the 4, this is the West. 63, 34.
34.
So the national sentiment, this is how people feel in the country. 60.
Because this is the best representation.
In fact, of course, we haven't added
33.
Dome Kwabenya. But honestly,
Okay.
Because Dome Kwabenya has been won parliamentary.
it's even probably the same, right?
Yeah.
No,
Ablekuma North.
he'll probably, Bawumia will probably win Dome Kwabenya. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm saying that Ablekuma North has been won by NDC parliamentary. Dome Kwabenya has been, even though there's a contest.
But I'm saying that it's possible that it could have been skirt and blouse. Because Dome Kwabenya is residually more NPP. So we need to see that now. But Vivian, of the 4 swing regions, this 63 is stronghold level.
Yeah.
This 64, Bernard.
Yeah, this is
63.99.
stronghold level, though.
Yes.
This is.
Because if you compare this to Volta region, it may just be some 7% difference.
If I can do that, let me. A greater can
Or rather, let's just see how
573.
all the swings have. So what has
let me
been
put all the swings together.
Yes. No, separately. So Greater
So that
Accra
we
is
see
60.
everybody.
Okay, Greater Accra
is
is
64.
570k, 63, 39.
So 64.
All right. So I should take out. You
Yes.
want to see how Western did?
Yes. So
Okay, Western alone is 58, 38, 147,000.
147.
So 58, 38, 147. Which other one you are looking for? Central?
no, add Western North to Western, so that you have a full swing region.
Western North is not a swing region, but I get your point. Of the old, good. So if you have Western North, 226.
Okay, it's not that much. 59%.
226. All right, so let me do Central for you. I don't know where you are going with this, but hopefully I didn't.
No, just trying to see. So Greater Accra has done 64.
So we want to see how the others
did,
do.
yes.
So Central, 58, 39.
106.
So that would
186.
answer your question as to which region won the.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Give
186.
the
Greater
most.
Accra has a strong case. Then let's see Bono, the 3 Bonos together, right?
Yes, put them together.
I have for Bono and Bono East
56.
56, 41, 15%, 150.
So your Greater Accra is.
So Greater Accra now, if I put all the swing regions together, for you to conclude this thing quickly.
the win margin.
So you add
1, 2, 3,
Central,
4.
Greater
About a
Accra, Western North. Just so basically, these are the
about a
regions
million.
that.
Yeah.
Where are we?
See?
60.
60%.
Yeah, but what the
And look at this number. 1.1 million.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Ashanti for NPP last election.
This was what Akufo-Addo won by in 2016 put together 1.1. I mean, it was actually less.
Let's look at 2020.
that's
So 1.1 million for the. Okay, let's look at what 2020 did for Akufo-Addo. When you put these people together in 2020, Akufo-Addo won by 73k,
73.
which is a margin Mahama won Greater Accra by. So Akufo-Addo takes the swing regions. Percentage 49.8, 48.6. So clearly, when you to win an election, these people have to prefer you.
And Bernard, from 73,000, John Mahama flips it to 1.1.
It's unbelievable. Let's even look at 2016, when Akufo-Addo was in all his glory. All right?
366.
366k, 52.45.
Still 1.1, you are nowhere
So
close.
he's still not. So this is look. If we even do, guys, this is unheard of in our election history, and I keep saying this: 1.1 million for the old Brong Ahafo, Western, Central, and Greater Accra. 1.1 million voters preferring as an advantage over Bawumia.
The nation's angriest moment was in 2016, and it was just 300,000. And now we are seeing 1.1.
Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 constituencies or so won. Everybody is going to Mahama.
Yeah, if the
Everybody.
if the NPP looks at this map as a campaign team, they should put their heads under a blanket.
Where do you go from
somewhere? Because you can't. This is as bad as
This is the
you
worst-
can perform.
this is the worst
as
you can get.
a political campaign. And if you look at Greater Accra, and again, how did they get sentiment so bad? I think it's a question that the NPP needs to address one way or the other. They will not address it publicly.
We should bring them and put this before them. It's serious.
They might not address it publicly, but they eventually have to answer the question, how did we gauge sentiment about? Because if you take Accra, for instance, Accra is the most cosmopolitan city in the country. It's representative of every region that is here. If you are performing badly, you would know from Accra the gaps that you have to close up. And
go for it. To be fair,
the tone deafness seemed to have shut them down.
Listen to what
to be fair, the NPP going into this election will repeatedly tell you that for Greater Accra region, we will not win.
We know.
Yes. So, but you see, but if you will not win.
Yeah. So I mean, they made a mistake.
But by what margins?
They made a mistake. They knew that they will not win Greater Accra, and they said that Greater Accra, they understand macroeconomy is 1-1. So their target is they've shifted camp and taken it to the north, and they were very
and the rural areas on free SHS.
So they say Ashanti will give it to them, and then the north, and they say that over there you cannot say to them that haircut and those things, but Greater Accra region. So it means they saw the problem in Greater Accra. But you see, the moment BNI came out with and now they've changed their name to NIB, with a poll that said they were going to go into a runoff. As a sitting government, when your candidate is said to be preparing for runoff, it's not a good
sign.
Right.
So I think a few people may have seen it, but they sat on the information. Or
I
they
actually think
they wouldn't have scared their supporters.
When I heard the message in the last 3 months, the campaign was now more of the rural areas.
Yeah.
They felt that they had lost the urban areas.
Yeah.
So they're talking about protect free SHS. They're talking about the development agenda 111. They're basically talking about things that they believe rural voters would like. Failing to remember that the sentiment in Accra is a agglomeration of sentiment everywhere. And because of social media and the way the internet works, somebody lives in your village, they know what's up. It's not like they are, it's not like we're not like some East African countries where villages are villages. In Ghana, you can go to a rural community, somebody's on TikTok.
Just watch Bernard.
You get it.
So pound for pound.
Yeah.
If we were to compare Mahama's infrastructure development in 2016 versus what happened 8 years under Akufo-Addo, Mahama or NDC of the 8 years at the time did better based on things we see, projects we see. And now, if at that time Dr. Bawumia said to us that one Ghana card is more important than how many interchanges, you cannot come all of a sudden and say interchanges are better.
It's a difficult message to even push.
And so you see, even though they shifted come to the rural areas, there was nothing to show in the rural areas anyway. What are you going to show them?
But they said, for example, they had an interchange in the first interchange in the north.
That is not an interchange.
The PTC interchange in Takrade.
It's not.
It's incomplete.
Bernard.
Okay, let's look at the north.
The things that
let's look at the rural areas they thought they could bank their own.
Even Greater Accra that you said you've done interchanges. The Flower Pot one, there was
Vivian, what north do you want to do? Do you want to do 5 north or 3 north?
No, let's start with original north.
The
original north.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 3 regions put together.
North with Tamale as capital.
Oh.
Yes, that northern. Yes, that one.
This one.
Yes.
You don't want to ask Savannah and
no, let's do because this is a formal. Let's do this before.
No, I'm doing it in blocks.
Okay.
For time's sake, let's just do this. Okay. So we can take it one by one. Okay, I get your point. Let's do it one by one. So let's take the easier one. Let's start with Savannah, where Mahama is from.
Okay.
Easy one. He cleared everything.
Green.
Now,
so he won his home region like his home region must behave for
let's
him.
see whether in 2020 there was anything different there. 2020, Savannah, is it green? Is it blue? We'll see. It will come shortly. It seems to me as if, yes, NPP won 1 in 2020. This one is who? Daboya Mankarigu. And they had a couple of parliamentary seats.
3 lights.
Yes, so it was just 3 deep, 3 light, 1. Let's see 2016, whether they did anything there. This is still Savannah region, all right? 2016, they don't follow what we're doing. All right, so let's do 2024 again. So 2024, what we have is Mahama winning everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 3. So we are talking, let me just remind you of this. So we have Bole Bamboy, his hometown, Damongo, Yape Kusou. So the 2 brothers.
Yes.
Sola, and then the ones that he 2020 won by closer margin: Salaga South, Salaga North, and then Daboya Mankarigu. Okay.
Looking at percentages, 2016 was 63, now it's 67.
So he's gotten almost 4% more. So Akufo-Addo got 35, Bawumia got 30. But this is Mahama's stronghold. So let's look at Northeast, where Dr. Bawumia is from, to see whether the fortunes are any different. All right. This is 2024. Look at this. Two of the deep ones. So this is Yagaba Kobori, Sports Minister Wale Bawumia's hometown. Nalerigu, the capital, Kambaga. The three, Unyo, Chereponi, and Bumpurubu. So the thing you need to know is that these are Mamprusi, these are Bimoba, and then mix of Chokosi and others. All right. So it's 54, 44, 10% gap. Let's see 2020 to see whether it's 51, 46. So he's done better.
Yeah.
He's done better. Don't forget the registrations in Ghana, Northeast had the highest percentage
increase
from your previous month. So he's done better.
But just on face value, he didn't do as well in his home region as John Mahama did.
Yes.
In his home region.
Good point. So if we have something we do where we add, okay, before that, let me show you the 2020 figure. So this 2020, right? 2020 is 3-3. And then in 2024, it's still 3-3.
Yes, same thing.
All right. Now let's do Northeast and Savannah together. So we are looking at the two men and where they are from and who is gaining an advantage. And by the way, the gap is 23K for Bawumia. If I take Savannah
was 80K.
So if I put Savannah in addition, so Mahama edges it 55-43. So he adds Savannah to Northeast. Bawumia wins only 3. Mahama wins all his and adds 3 from Bawumia's. You can't even say this Bawumia's side, but Northeast is really,
but it's his region, I mean.
Yeah, but the politics of the North is not just region, it's where you are from. So I'm saying that if you are from Bunkurugu Yunyo, your relation to Mamprusi is not the same.
Okay. Yeah. So what you may want to do is to add Upper East to Northeast and see the behavior there, because you have Mamprusis in Upper East, not as many.
Okay, I'll do Upper East.
Yes.
But Vivian, we are saying that when you put where the two men are from together, Mahama has a 12% gap, 57K. All right. Now let's see Northern. So let's remove these two guys and just put Northern alone. This is Dagomba, Anumba, Konkomba. Huge region. All right. Now, Tolon, NPP.
Yeah.
Spiritual home.
Savelugu, NPP. No, give me a minute. No, this is Savelugu. This is
Nanton.
Karaga,
Karaga.
Sports Finance Minister. Gushegu, Deputy Transport Minister. It's interesting. For Savelugu, the NPP won the parliamentary. Okay. Then you have Dominic Nitiwu, Bimbila, he wins it. Then you have Yendi, presidential. Parliamentary NDC wins it. Then you have Bandai. So Bandai, so the ones NPP wins both presidential and parliamentary for the North, Bandai, Gushegu and Karaga, Bimbila, and then Tolon. Tolon now is one of the key founders of the NPP. So Tolon, you can understand. Gushegu and Karaga, two strong government figures, Dr. Amin Adam and Hassan Tampoli. You can understand this. Kwanda is Matthew Nyindam for NPP as well. You can understand this. Dominity is this. So my theory is that this is personality driven. But even there, look at the numbers. NDC wins all Tamale. Tamale South, Tamale North, Tamale Central, Sagnerigu. Then they win Nantong, Savelugu, and Ad Kumbungu. And then they also win Mion. And then all of these guys here.
The Eastern Corridor.
The Eastern Corridor, Zabzugu, Tatale Sanguli.
Konkomba land.
All of that. Wulensi, they win as well. So if you look at the ratio for this, they are winning about 11 of the 18. NPP wins 6 is 18, right? So 12-2. So the argument in the North is still about Mahama 57-40. Quite similar to the national average. So what is happening is that the North, even if it's a swing region, is followed the pattern of. Let's look at 2020 what happened there. Just quickly, 2020 what happened in the North. 53-45. Can you imagine? So Bawumia did worse than Akufo-Addo.
Yeah.
In the North.
In the North.
Yeah, in the North.
If quite blue. If you put all the North together, the three Norths.
You want to see what will happen?
Yeah, whether
All right.
Collectively, how Bawumia fared between 2020 and now?
I should put all the three together.
Yes.
All right,
Northeast
so-
and Savannah.
All right, so Northeast Savannah, 2024, Bahama 57, Bawumia 41, national average. Apart from the two deep blues, these are light blues. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
9.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can mention them: Tolon, Yagaba Kubori, Wale Wale,
The capital.
Nalerigu, Karaga and Gushewu, Bimbila, Bandai,
Yendi.
and Yendi. These are their strongholds. So it's a 215,000 gap. Let's compare that to the previous election. 2020. 120,000 gap, 53-44. It's now 57-41. So when you put the three north together, Bawumia does worse than Akufo-Addo did. And this is 2020 when NDC had closed the gap in 2016. So it means 2016, probably, I don't know, let me just check 2016. Just for what you call shaggy reasons, 55-41. So actually, 2020 was actually better.
Yeah.
So this is much similar to 2016 because there's nothing I didn't really woken up to the Bawumia thing. So 2020 was different. 2016, look at that, it's back to factory settings. 2016, 2020. 2024, 57, 41. I mean, Vivian,
Wow.
this is...
But you would think that now they're used to him being there, one of their own, at least they would have done better than
So
that.
going into the election, the North had a choice between two persons from the North. And it's been a campaign, and people with Northern extraction were excited that we were going to have a Northerner at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But when it came to it, which of the Northerners were you going to choose? And I think that's what, there was a North one now on the eastern part of the corridor and one on the western side. People over there had a choice, a very difficult choice to make. It's interesting to see that they are tilting more to the Gunja man than the Mamprose man. Now, over the period, how has he fared, Dr. Bawumia? When he was running mate, how did the North behave for Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo? From everything we have seen, John Mahama has been the de facto Northern leader, based on the statistics we've seen so far. Is it a case of the relationship between the Gunjas and the Dagombes versus the Gunjas and the Dagombes and the Mamproses? I don't know how that would be explained, but for me, it's a difficult choice.
So I remember I used to say, there are two Northerners on the ticket. One, if he wins, has only 4 years. If I win, I have 8 years.
8 years.
That message seemed nice, but I don't think it got down.
That was Dr. Bawumia.
And you see, this is the thing. When the sentiment is for change, a lot of the other arguments pale in comparison.
Again, truth is that the North has traditionally been NDC, and this is Jerry Rawlings.
Yes, yes.
Rural electrification.
Yes.
The North benefited immensely.
UDS.
Islam in the North.
Yes.
Rawlings brings a holiday for Muslims.
Yes.
Rawlings brings a chief imam.
He makes the smoke the national, his official wear for almost 10 years.
Exactly. So Rawlings gave the NDC, or the North,
Yes.
Rawlings gave the North to the NDC.
Yes.
And so the NDC has always been winning in the North. And that's how come you see it in Upper East and Upper West, if you were to extend it.
Yes.
For NPP to be able to penetrate, what do they have to do? They have to bring programs that will be exciting to the North. They brought Zongo Development Fund. They brought Zongo Ministry.
But Zongo is not a North.
But yes, so that's
Zongo is not the same as
so
the
that
North.
is a Hausa
Zongo
thing.
is all of us coming together from different places.
So the North is not necessarily Zongo.
Yeah.
So that when you go to Tamale, you can spend the whole day without hearing a word of Hausa being spoken.
Yes.
Same with, okay, so Savannah region, they speak Hausa.
Yes.
There are a lot of
yes.
Salaga people who speak Hausa. Yes. Mamprusi land a little. If you go to Upper East, they do. So I think NPP probably should have targeted the North better than they did. They didn't, they just thought, okay, because Bawumia is from the North, but the North is different.
I also think that, you know, we don't want to go into all the details of the ethnic issue, but
that was the key.
Some of the challenges with the
you can't avoid
the Boku issue, because I saw polling stations in the 6 Kusor areas.
No, it was bad.
Vivian,
They give him
when you did a polling station,
You just said Chris.
it was pretty bad. All right, so look, the national sentiment is not just in Accra. All right, so I always say that I need to rank the factors. When people feel they want change, they may think Bawumia is a nice guy, we want him one day, but not now.
Not now.
You get it? Because now they are looking for somebody to come and save them economically. So they are not going to say, well, because Bawumia has 8 possible years, we should give it to him now.
Don't
That's
forget,
how they think.
Akufo-Addo gave these people new regions, yet they have not rewarded NPP.
But my theory for why he did well in 2020 is that he solved the Dagon crisis, which, of course, in 2002, when it happened, it was under Akufo. And usually, this is the way I see it. A problem that occurs when one government is in power is best solved when they are in power. So I think he had the legitimacy to solve that when he solved it. And that message, so after Dagon crisis in the early 2000s, NDC's main campaign will be, look at what they did to the Yana among the Dagomba areas. But once that matter was solved with the legitimate person as Yana and that matter was covered, NDC needs a new message. So it looks like in 2024 they have to change the attack because the 2020 campaign, which was based on the old issues, did not fly. So they probably changed message in the north, because we are talking about the north, where you have a lot of Dagomba, Nanumba, Kokomba. So some of those issues, but we are basically saying that this 5741 again is the national average. So far, everything we've done is national average. The Bono Western Greater Accra Central thing gives us this. Nothing gives us this.
I have a question. Have we had a first-time candidate perform as poorly as this? Bar 92.
Great question. 96, Kufuor was a first-time candidate. And he got 39%. Rollins, I can check.
Let me do that. I can find out.
Yeah, I can do that for you quickly. Yes, I'll do that for you. 96, right? Let me move it. Let me just do 96. Hold on. I need to do 10 regions to get this done. Just give me a minute. You asked a very good question.
So 96, Kufuor, from what I have in front of me, was a 43%.
Thank you.
To Jerry Rawlings' 53%.
No, 96 was 56.
Oh, okay. I'm doing. Yes. I need to do
in 90,
a national. Sorry.
In 96, Kufuor had 39% and Rawlings had 56.4%. But the problem in 96 is that in the first 3 elections, our smaller parties were much stronger. So you had 2.9% for the smaller parties. Indeed, 2000 they had 5.6%. The duopolization began after 2000. Wow. So you could say that Kufuor's 39, if you added the 2%, so similar to Bawumia.
But don't forget, Bawumia's results are not fully out yet. There's 9 constituencies. A lot of them are NDC.
No, they are mixed.
No, I have that list here.
Give me the list.
But Bernard, the reason why I asked that question is looking at this. Would you say the NPP did not choose the right candidate? Because you've had a nationally poor performance. What kind of feedback did you get nationally in fielding this candidate?
You need to disaggregate push versus pull. Push is why we don't like NPP. Pull is why we want NDC. Somebody needs to do that. Now that push and pull means how much of this is rejection of Akufo-Addo and his leadership in 8 years? How much of this is Bawumia cannot disassociate himself from Akufo-Addo, therefore we don't want Bawumia? How much of this is we are in economic crisis, we need an experienced hand, and between Bawumia and Mahama, friend Mahama? How much of this is Mahama has, in the 8 years in opposition, built middle class support, the labor unions, the civil society? I mean, he was speaking on CDD platform on financing politics a year ago. I mean, if you think about CDD and the Kodeo kind of people, and this is a year ago.
He was embedded
he's
in
the main speaker talking about how do we. So the point is that people don't notice, but he's basically, after losing the election, built a middle class following. So what I'm saying is that it's very early to even start going into whether half of this is because Bawumia is a bad candidate or not. It's very early. What I'll say is that
I don't think so, Bernard. I don't think so, because if you are going into an election, as a party, you test everything.
But which other candidate?
You test for everything.
Are you telling me that if NPP had any other candidate, would have run better than this?
Perhaps. You never know. In the sense that, look, I hear the point you make about was Bawumia going to be able to separate himself from the NPP. That had always been something that was not going to stick. If you had listened to the Ghanaian populace for the past 4 years or 5 years, Vivian, the Ghanaian populace was never going to separate Bawumia from from Akufo-Addo,
Yes.
which is something he tried to do very unsuccessfully.
Yes.
And it was shot down very early
Yes.
But
in the
isn't
campaign period.
Isn't that a reaction to what we're seeing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The
that-
Akufo-Addo
so
factor.
if you were NPP
So
and you were
someone
pitching,
so you wanted a stranger.
no, I'm just saying
But it would have
that
been
if
the
you are the
same.
MPP and you are pitching a candidate,
Yeah.
and you sit back and you say, okay, we've had this person for 8 years. Now in the 8 years, this is how he's testing all through the period. He's linked with A, B, C, D. Because look, Bawumia running away to become digital messiah from economic messiah was something that nobody ever bought.
Yes.
A lot of
Yeah.
people saw it as an escape plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't actually believe Bawumia was for digitalization genuinely. A lot of people saw that they had created the whole digitalization concept to get him to run away from the flawed
Yeah.
economic
Yeah.
messiah concept.
Yeah.
So you sit back then and you look at it and say, okay, we're entering an election. This is our candidate. How is he testing with the Ghanaian voters nationally based on the fact that people still associate him with the most difficult economic period in this country? Although it's Akufo-Addo, everybody still remembers Bawumia
And
as the face of the election.
kept telling
And they kept
us,
it in the face of
NDC
people.
kept telling us the Akufo-Addo Bawumia, all their communication.
So
they didn't separate
perhaps
the two.
very early on, could they not have felt that he was damaged goods? I'm just saying.
Well, but
Because if you look at these numbers,
But
this is
but
damaged goods
if NPP
numbers, Bernard.
So look at Kufuor and Nanado. What helped Nanado in 2008 was that even though he was MPP, the
He was not
anger in
seen
MPP benefited him.
Yeah.
Because he had only 49% of that small electoral college. But all the rest said, we don't like Alan because the establishment that has given us this problem
He's
is
part
pushing
of it.
Alan. So Akufo-Addo actually in 2008 had a better chance because he was seen as,
From the outside.
it's like MPP is trying to reform from
Yeah.
within. So Ghanaians say, you know what, even though Kufuor, we are not happy with how it's ending, Akufo-Addo is a different guy. But you're right, Bawumia
But it's
could
the
not.
same guy from the problematic
So
group.
I think that your point is strong.
Yeah, that
What I'm
makes
trying to say is that MPP also attacked Mahama a lot,
Lot, yeah.
thinking that a lot of Ghanaians will say, like for example, the alternative is Kerry. A lot of Ghanaians felt insulted by that. We lived in Ghana in 2016. We know what happened in 2016. It's not been as bad as it was in 2016. So if you keep caricaturing the Mahama of 2024, the assumption is that new voters have not come in. Look, if somebody is 18 years in 2024,
They were
Vivian,
10.
he was 8 years. He was,
Yeah.
if you take out 8, it's 10 years
He
old.
was 10 years old.
So he doesn't even have a sense of the whole Mahama thing you are saying. So the whole, and particularly Akufo-Addo was attacking Mahama a lot. I'll not handle somebody I've beaten twice. It's, for me, it backfired because see, Mahama was quietly building. I'll give you an example. There was this whole thing they were doing with, they were calling the national, what's the name of the thing? Oh, the forum, KY Amaku's thing. Mahama was turn up. They did a big event at Legon where they wanted to talk about the national
Dialogue, something.
what was the word for this?
I don't remember.
But they were trying to do like the national compact. He shows up for these events, and his manifesto guys are talking to civil society. Professor Dansum Bafu is talking to everybody. So what I'm saying is that even for the first time, you see university lecturers. So NDC did not build just a stronghold thing. NDC basically had their professionals campaigning. They tried to get the middle class and floating voters. So if you look at Musa's surveys, a lot of the floating voters or I will not vote people eventually went for Mahama.
I wanted to ask Sandra and yourself another question on the Northern outlook that we just saw.
Ghana Compact. Thank you,
Yes,
Ghana Compact.
on the Northern outlook we just saw.
Yeah.
Do you think there was an impact on the numbers we saw on Bawumia by the economic situation we saw, the hunger, the drought issues, the absence of the dams that had been promised, bad prices for maize.
Yes.
Let's not forget the upper east, the upper west, the north, the savannah were amongst the worst affected by some of these.
Maybe let me show the
In the
upper,
year.
let me do Upper East first.
Yeah, that was a complete blowout.
And let's see how it works. So Upper East has 15 constituencies. 254k, a healthy win, right? Now the way to interpret Upper East is to look at historical. So 22, so it's 75-22. In 2020 it was.
Why are we not calling Upper East a stronghold?
I'm coming. It's a stronghold.
No, we should call it.
It's always been Upper East is an NDC stronghold.
Stronghold, yeah.
It was 64-32, right? So he's jumped 12% in his stronghold. let me do historical to just show you how crazy this is. First, let me do a heat map, and then historical. Now, when I do a heat map, this is all still deep green.
It's stuck.
Guys, there's no constituency here that won by less than 50%, by less than 60%.
60%.
Right? Historically, the best performance of anybody in Upper East has been Rawling, 64.6. The second best has been
60.
2008 runoff,
64.
and then 2012, 63. Guys,
Record highs.
73%. Forgive me, yes.
More than Rawlings.
Is it clear?
More than
Yes,
Rawlings.
clear.
Yeah. More than Rawlings.
All right. So, okay. Just give me a minute. So, historically, there's not been any performance in the Upper East like this before. I just want to show you 2020 to see if there was anything changed. In 2020 as well, even though it was 64%, if you look at the map, the whole thing is still, okay, a couple of light greens, 1, 2, 3. They consolidated in 2024. Let me just go back to 2024 and do a historical for you. So Upper East historical analysis. All right, just a second. So here you have it. Highest prior to this election was 64 Rawlings, followed by 63 2012 when Mahama wins. He's jumped to 73. Unbelievable. You can say some of this was the Boku crisis, because let's look at some of the.
But it's not enough.
Let's just look at the 6 constituencies in the coastal areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sandra, do I have all?
No, there's a Garu at the bottom.
There's
yes,
Garu
that
here.
one.
So these are the 6.
Yeah.
These are the 6 constituencies where you
That's
have.
Mahama's promised new region.
Oh, Sandra, stop this.
He promised them.
Sandra, okay, you are creating new regions everywhere you go. You even created a new region for Shai Osudoku people. That's why you are not here. So I just want to show something. So Bawumia is again prior to 1996, 70 Rawlings, 19 Kufuor, 76, 75, 74 Mahama, 19. These are the.
So this is where Bawumia was getting 0 at polling stations.
Yeah. But even if you take the rest, it's not that much better. You know? So if you like, take Navrongo, take the where you have the Frafra, and then the what do you call this? Frafres and the Kasem. So you have
Bulsas.
Yes, Bulsa. Bulsa is Bulsa South and North.
Yes.
Navrongo is Kasem, Tiana Paga as well.
Yes.
And then you have Bolga. Bungo. Still 71-23. So this region is.
So he has not done well neither in the western part of the region.
Upper East, forget it. Let's do Upper West and see what we get.
Let me see.
Let's do Upper West and see what we get. Upper West region is again a traditional stronghold of the NDC. 2020 was 32% Akufo-Addo, 64%. It's now 71-26.
Who are the 3 founders of NPP? There's Dombo in there, right? Is it not from Upper West?
Yeah. Let's do historical. Since you are asking.
That's a massive decline, though.
For
NDC?
For NPP.
NPP.
Yeah. The historical will make it even clearer. So you had NPP, their best 36% 2000 runoff, 36 again in 2008 runoff, 34 in 2016, now 25.
Wow.
No.
So in the last 3 electoral cycles, they went from 34 to 25.
Declining.
Mahama has moved from 56 in 2016 to almost 70 in Upper West. So it's gone.
So are you buying my
Godfrey, to support
analysis
you
now?
Godfrey,
If you add this 152K to the 250 in Upper, so let me do the 2 regions. Just give me a minute.
When the NDC lost in 2016, the debate in town was whether it was the horse or the jockey.
Okay, which one did they
So this is what you are asking now,
Yes,
whether it's a horse or
guys,
a jockey.
when you put Upper East and Upper West together, Mahama has 400,000. 400K.
And a significant decline on the blue side from the last election.
Yeah. 400,000 votes plus in Upper East and Upper West. That's a lot.
So, Bernard, again, I ask, did the NPP test the popularity, the national popularity of Bawumia well enough.
How do you test a
How do you test a
popularity of
candidate?
No.
Who else do you have?
Godfred, how do you test? So this is the thing. How do you test? You test by going to your party's base. Bawumia did not win the flag bearership narrowly. He won better than Akufo-Addo did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's a different electoral college.
I know, which is even makes it because it's even a bigger electoral college. Which means that
Akufo-Addo, when they did the electoral college of this kind, Akufo-Addo has won it better than anybody because in his first attempt
when they expanded it.
Yes. So in the first Akufo-Addo has annihilated. It's literally wiped everybody to the
floor. So I'm talking
floor.
about a first-time candidate, Akufo-Addo, in 2007.
Okay, cool.
He won because Alan Chemantin conceded to an extent.
Yeah. Okay.
2023, Bawumia did not need any of those people to concede for him to win. He won handsomely. Now that's the best test case for you at a party because you can't go to ask NDC people to vote. And
not necessarily, but I'm saying that if you are looking for national appeal, you ask yourselves, do we have a candidate who has the ability to lighten some of these colors?
Does he have a strong enough base?
Yes, you see,
those are questions. But how will you test it?
No. There are methods to testing these things. That's what that one in this era of politics that we are in the sophistication of polls, there are a lot of ways to test these things nationally.
The party base told you this is the guy they like. Among the 10 people you brought, they said this is the guy they like, and you gave them 2 rounds of voting, and they returned a positive verdict.
Perhaps in the next election cycle, that might be something that
I've heard a very strange argument that Major Boachijan of Blessed Memory used to make. He used to say that if a president wins an election without a strong ethnic base, he will struggle. And that theory was rejected. But he basically said, apart from Rawlings, Kufuor, other presidents who have come from smaller ethnic groups have had to struggle for legitimacy. So he said Rawlings, this is his view. So this is not me saying. He says Rawlings was able to contest because he had the Ewe bloc supporting him strongly. Kufuor, Ashanti. He said Mills struggled because even though Mills is a candidate, just Fanti, and Fanti is not a major group. And even his argument was that Mahama was also struggling because Gonja was not such a huge group. So I think that the Gonja Mamprisi thing is possibly the same. That if the person was probably a Dagomba,
it's bigger.
All right. So that was his theory he made in an interview somewhere. I haven't seen a write-up to test it, but I think Godfrey's argument of having a candidate who may not have such a huge base, and he also did not necessarily campaign on the religion because his religion is not a majority religion. So he also didn't really. So he. And when you look at the candidate, because it's an academic with an economics background, his base ought to have been the middle class. But the middle class is angry with the government. So that's not good. So how is he going to get a base? He doesn't have a middle class base because even though he's an economist who's from a middle class background, the middle class is angry with the government. His ethnic group is not such a huge one.
And he does not
resonate in the minority religion.
So prior to the election, I told someone that Bawumia comes into this election like an Obama. Everything was going against him. Now, and I said that if Bawumia won this election, that would be a miracle because why?
But his campaign manager has got miracles. Or his spokesperson is
Director of Communication. Bernard, Bawumia is a Muslim.
Yes.
Based on the national statistics, it's 17-18%.
I think it's 21.
I think
it's 20%.
Okay, go on.
Okay.
It's okay.
Very, very small minority. So religion will not work for you. Ethnicity, first of all, you are a Northerner. It's a small group. But in the North, you are a Mamprisi, which is even smaller. You are not a Dagomba. Not in the Upper West region. You are a Mamprisi, a small region.
When we take the constituencies that have majority Mamprisis, it's probably 3.
No, you add like 2, maybe just Bolga.
I thought majority.
Exactly.
Majority.
So even Boku, they don't have that many.
Majority.
So those are the first 2. The third one, you have incumbency disadvantage.
Oh Lord.
The fourth one, you came as an economic whiz kid and you are exiting as a digital master, where the digital master messed you up at the airport of all places 2 or 3 days to the election.
All right,
you don't need that on your
Let's move to something quickly.
Guys. No, I have to take a break. So it's
I want to show you Eastern region.
It's the election bureau. It's election bureau. It's the situation room. Sandra, I am running that thing. Not you keep quiet. It's the election bureau, and that's the situation room. When we come back, we'll look at the Eastern region and some other key regions. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Get ready for the ultimate celebration of the year. The Situation All White Christmas Party 2024. This Christmas Eve, join us at the Situation All White Christmas Party for a night of unforgettable vibes. Date 24th December 2024. Time 8 p.m. Location The Underbridge, East Legon. Expect nothing but pure magic as we light up the night with incredible performances from Keche, the hitmakers who know how to get you moving. Isakede, Ghana's Soul Master, with melodies that will take you to another world. A Chin Band, a live performance experience like no other. DJ Mingo, the party maestro, keeping the beats flowing all night. I've done it best, bringing the energy to keep the crowd jumping. And MOG, leading us in spirit-filled worshiping style. Dress code all white. Let's shine together in style. It's going to be a night to remember, full of music, dance, and festive spirit. Don't miss out on the hottest party of the season, the party that shuts down all parties. Call 0205-973-973 for table reservations and get ready to party. It's going to be lit at the Underbridge. The Situation All White Christmas Party 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM and proudly sponsored by Carlsberg Beer, Kiss Drinks, Series, Bell Ice, Verve Duvernay, Bushmills Irish Whiskey, and Blue Jeans Energy Drink.
Hey, welcome back to the Situation Room. My name is Vivian Kai Lokko, here with a host of guys who are helping us look at the numbers. Joining us now is Richard the last guy. Richard, welcome.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
Okay, good to have you. So, Babena, let's look at the other regions. I think you can start from the Eastern region to see how it fared in terms of the presidential.
But you haven't answered the question that you asked earlier. Which region is most responsible for this electoral outcome? Maybe at the end of the show,
but we'll see it at the end because we are building up.
So I just want to Sky. So far, we've done the swing regions. So the old Bono Ahafo, the old Western, Central, Greater Accra. When we put those regions together, Mahama has 1.13 million plus. When we put North, Upper East and Upper West together, he has about 400,000 plus. When we put the three North together, he also wins there. So, usually when it's an election, people want to know who did this election for you.
Yeah.
All right? I want you to keep that in your mind because when I'm doing this, we want to see which regions are consequential to the outcome. And so far, it's not clear. Western has a strong case. Greater Accra has a strong case. Well, Greater Accra gave Mahama 500K.
Yeah, 5.
Western scattered. Basically, Bawumia only one constituency in Western. Takrady. The 3 BA regions as well, only 2 for NPP, the rest NDC. So everybody has a strong case. I haven't been down Volta and OT yet.
Yeah.
Upper East and Upper West is giving 400K. So maybe, Vivian, if I can do Volta and OT quickly to compare them to Upper East and Upper West, because usually those are the 4 strongholds of NDC, and I'm going to prove this here. So usually when you take the, just give me a minute. When you take the electoral map of Ghana, generally, Upper East, Upper West, Volta, and OT do well for NDC. If you go all the way from 2016, okay, 2016 when NDC was even massacred at the poll, Volta, OT, Upper East. Upper West didn't really show up. Savannah took over that year. And this is one of NPP's best victories, where the whole country, 3 of them are deep blue. The only greens are Western North and Bono East, which are even NDC strongholds, were not that much great, 2016. Volta, OT, Upper East always turn up. 2020 is a more recent view of the situation, where you have Volta, OT again, Upper West, Upper East, Savannah. Those are the 5 strong for NDC. Then Ahafo and Bono East always support. NPP will do Ashanti Eastern, Bono and Ahafo, they will take it. Western and Central tend to behave the same way. Greater Accra went this way. So this is what you're seeing in the map, right? Now, with that background, look at 2024. Volta, OT maintain. Upper East, Upper West, Savannah maintain. Bono East and Western North now green. So they've moved from light to deep. Bono, Ahafo, Western and Central, which were light blue, have turned to light green. Eastern, which was deep blue, has gone to light blue. So the point I'm making is that the only region that maintains anything for NPP is Ashanti, and then possibly Northeast. So let's look at Volta and OT in terms of numbers and see what they have to say about this question of who...
Can I run a quick
Yes,
comment?
please. Yes, please.
You know, if you look at the traditional behavior of the strongholds of the NPP, and you look at what we're looking at, it seems the Eastern region, consequential because of the background of his former flag bearer, ought to have come out.
You want to blame them?
Oh, no, of course. I mean, if the former flag bearer of the party who...
So you are saying
this
deep blue should have maintained?
Should have been maintained.
They came to... Okay, let's try 2016 and see what they did. 2016,
yes.
They were still... Forgive me. They were still deep.
Deep blue, yeah.
Let me try 2012. Just give me a minute. I want to see whether Sky has a point here. 2012, what did they do? Eastern region. Light.
Yes, light.
So apart from 2012, every election
Yes.
has given NPP Eastern region deep until 2024.
Exactly.
Where it's come back to 2012 level.
Exactly.
So you are blaming Eastern region?
Yes, Eastern region, because if Ashanti maintained its general behavior, although they did not come out as big as they should have, one would have expected that because the flag bearer who is outgoing, right, the outgoing flag bearer, happens to be from there, then perhaps he ought to have been deployed there a lot more.
Yeah.
To
The outgoing president.
The outgoing president.
But what tells you that it would have helped?
I mean,
Are you saying people vote just because you are from their home?
No, that's not the point.
It's not, they are not happy
but
with
it is a part of the reasons why people vote. Where you come from, why? People, this almost say, I do with fear.
No, say it anyway, the tree.
So once you have something good,
Don't you want to
I deal with fear.
Okay.
So if we go by that, then I find it curious that in the Eastern region they did not show up for Bawumia.
Well, let's test that.
Okay.
So let's do Eastern region. Sky is trying to controversially pour sand in somebody's garage. So this Eastern region, Mahama 47%, Bawumia 51%, 41,000 gap.
Difference? No.
Look at the map.
No.
Green. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We don't have Isama Dwejiri.
Yeah.
10 out of the 32
Yes.
NDC. In 2020, Mahama had 38%. He's now moved to 47. Akufo-Addo had 60%. He's now 51 for Bawumia.
Nice.
Historical comparison of Eastern. Where am I?
Bawumia not win anywhere.
Oh, Sky, you have a point.
Huh.
Wow.
No, but his point actually supports mine.
Whoa, look at the dip.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
why would they not have realized that he is not as
60 to
popular
51.
as the incumbent in his home region, and that there might be the need, as Kai is saying, for perhaps the sitting president to set foot in the region. This is the eastern region of Boachejaku.
Yes, and then also of Damboche.
But the region is very heterogeneous.
I understand.
You remember when we did Heritage Caravan, we met the regional minister? Sky, it's one of the most diverse regions you can get.
Yes, that's true.
You have Achim,
Yes.
You have Kwewu.
Yes.
You have Ekwapim.
Yes.
You have Krobo.
The Evers,
Then you have Evers.
Yes.
Then you have a mix. You have Guans.
there are ones there.
Which are they have Latte. We are also
Yeah.
Guans, by the
Yeah.
way.